Was almost 150 years ago that Alexander Graham Bell made the first telephone by wiring up a speaker and some microphone and some copper wire in the middle. He made that first phone call and said, "Come here, Watson, I need you," because he had spilled acid on his pantaloons. I don't know if you guys know that's a true story. So 150 years ago, the first phone call. And you think about what's changed in the 150 years that have occurred since then. All of our technology has gotten so magical. Right? We went from, we started with vacuum tubes to transistors to integrated circuits, and copper wires turned into fiber optics, turned into wireless, and you have a supercomputer in your pocket. Yet how we interact with that technology, with that communications, has changed very little. Right? You still like that the app on your phone is still stupid, right? You went from dialing with an operator, to dialing with a rotary, to dialing with a number pad. A number pad, DTMF dialing came out in the 1960s, 1963. And you think about it, not much has changed in the last 50 years since dialing with a push button came out. The phone app on your iPhone is just a touchscreen representation of that 150-year-old network. It still has those buttons. And there's really nothing you can do that you couldn't do with that old phone, the old push-button phone. It's crazy. The supercomputer in your pocket is constrained by the 150-year-old network. Right? And we feel this all the time when we interact with the network. Like, let's imagine you're on your iPhone, and you pull up the app for an airline because you want to change your flight. So you log in, you see your flight details, and you click on the flight details, and you get the screen here that allows you to check in, but you also talk to an agent if you want to change the flight. And if you click that button, we've all had this experience, right? It pops you out into some toll-free phone number, and then you're on the dialer. You're on the 150-year-old network. Right? What happens? System answers, it says, please enter your 70-digit account number. Please tell us your mom's dog's maiden name, and all this stuff. Right? You're like, why am I doing this? I was just in your app. You knew who I was. You knew what flight I'm on. Why do I have to go through all this stuff? It's because all of the context is lost when you get dumped onto this 150-year-old network. But today, the context of our lives lives in software. Who we are, what we're doing, where we're going, who we're friends with, who we do business with. And so far as software has started to reshape communications, software primarily has made communications cheaper, right? Voice over IP, things like that. But it's time that software made our communications fundamentally better. Because we are still in sort of this horse and buggy, like horseless carriage era of software communications. Right? We've created a cheaper facsimile of the last century's technology. But voice over IP still just does the same boring things that the old network did. It's not yet fundamentally better. In fact, we have yet to take advantage of this new medium. And that's exciting because software is only limited by our imagination. Right? If you can dream it up, write it in code, run it on a CPU and a network, then it's possible. And we at Twilio think that this is going to bring about fundamentally better communications than what we've ever seen in the past. Why? Because you can make them contextual. Contextual communications is one of the main ways that our communications are going to improve because we can integrate it with software and integrate it with the rest of everything else that we're doing. Let's imagine that airline app again. But this time when you click Talk to Agent, you aren't dumped onto the 150-year-old network. Inside the app, you are now communicating. And it says connecting you to an agent. You finally reach an agent, and you say, yeah, I'm looking to change that flight. By the way, the agent says not, please enter your 40-digit account number. The agent says, hi, Jeff. How can I help you with flight 677? Because she knows exactly what I'm looking at. Karen then looks around, helps me find some new flights, pushes a card to my screen and says, hey, how about this flight? Is this the one you want? and I can click confirm. Then maybe the security practice says, okay, just to confirm that you are who you say you are, please touch the Touch ID on your phone to complete this. Great, I see you've authenticated. Your flight is successfully changed. Is there anything else I can help you with? And this entire transaction can probably be done in about 30 seconds. You'd wait on hold for far longer. Why? Because you have to spend so much time communicating context to each other. And we think that this is how communications is going to get better, by bringing context into it.